by you. You know that it's going on. It is what it is, man. Like you said, we keep grinding, we keep pushing along. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, so we're gonna keep on keeping on. There's not really a level of fear in there. We were talking about this before. As far as like fear, that voice in your head, I guess they are kind of one and the same. But just quick little tidbit, man. I thought about this, and I thought I would just say, Tony Robbins, the motivational guy.
Yeah.
I was listening to something he had, and he was giving an example of fear. And he said that he spoke to two musical artists, one being Bruce Springsteen, and the other one was just this lady, famous singer. I just can't remember her name. And he asked the female singer, he was like, you know, before you go on stage, do you still get that fear that, you know, you've been doing it for so long? Do you still have that feeling? She was like, yeah, I get that feeling. It cripples me. You know, I get sick, I get this, and it's just all a bunch of negativity. And then he asked Bruce Springsteen the same question. He was like, you know, do you still get that fear? Like, you're the boss, like you've been doing this forever. You still get that same feeling of fear before you go on? And he was like, hell yeah, I do. But I use that as my motivation. Like, I use it as, like, I get excited when I feel the fear coming because it pumps me up to, you know, to conquer it. So just anybody being fearful about anything, just use that as an example, man. Everything is what you make it out to be. So whether it's fear, whether it's self-doubt, you know, everything can be used as motivation and fuel. So use it, you know. It's a lesson. Everything can be learned. So, and everything can be turned into a positive. So example for you, example for you, example for me. So, you know, we keep on trucking along, man. And that's really it. How's the artwork coming to Len?
Good. I had to take a pause this week. I got too much stuff going on at work. I can't. I just don't have enough time.
I am literally taking, like, I am scheduling out my week. Like, okay, this amount of time to work out after coming home from work, spend an hour reading, spend an hour on one day it's the podcast, the other day it's the designing, the other day it's drawing for this other dude with this tattoo thing going on. Like, I literally am, you know, trying to eke out as much time as I can. So far, so good with it.
So I'll read, but they're so not interesting to me to a point. So it's hard to like stay focused. Next thing I know, I'm tired. And then we were talking about this last week as far as like while I'm at work trying to get like these little readings in, or not little reading, but these readings in. But I'm just always being interrupted, you know, or like, why are you so quiet and stuff like that? And like, I'm trying to read, you know. So it's just hard to kind of get time to all that. And then on top of that, with all like the daily life things that we have to do. So I know it sounds like excuses. It is to a point, but there's just not enough time in the day, and in order to function for the next day, you know, you got to kind of pick and choose.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if I could, I would work on every single thing in one day, and then every single thing on the next day. But it's just not possible. You know, you wake up early, you do your job, then you come home. You know, I can't do the podcast plus the artwork plus the designing in one shot. I have to, you know, pick and choose what's going to be for what day. So I'm going to say you know, it's hard to say that there's no time in the day because, you know, everybody has a different life to lead, but do what you can, man.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Things are going on in here. And then like whenever I can, I'll like jot down, like, thank God for these phones and like all the little notepad apps and shit like that you can put pictures, and like you can even just doodle something with your hand, freehanded, whatever. So like all those, they're being jotted down. It's just that like bringing it to the computer and, you know, stuff like that. I just haven't got there yet. But as soon as I'm done with the credential stuff, that's when I'm going to have more time to do whatever.
Well, wish you the best of luck, man. And Will, man, with everything you guys are doing, man. Wish you the best of luck. It's hard grind, man. We know that.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Same to y'all too, man.
I appreciate it.
I have one thing I saw during the week that I thought was pretty interesting. You guys want me to go, or you guys have something?
I have something, but if you're, if you want to go ahead, you can go ahead with it.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so this is more of like more like a warning for people watching the podcast. So over the years, I've been seeing these like wealth gurus, and man, I saw this one interesting video that I totally loved it because he broke down what these guys are doing. And what these guys are doing is just basically selling hope. Like, I'm sure you guys seen these videos where, you got some guy in the front of the screen saying, hey, you could quit your job tomorrow. I quit mine. Look at this Lamborghini in back of me. Look at this mansion that I got. And all I was doing is, all I do is just work off my computer, blah, 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 blah. And then the guy really broke it down is how they fluff you down the road. Like, it's all of this fluff about them and how they attained all this wealth and whatever. And then down the line, they have you sign up for their course. Then you take the course, and it's still a lot more fluff about, yeah, and it's all generalization. That's the part I love. That's so funny about it, because it will be like just no-brainer shit. Like, you should, it could be general stuff like, you should invest your money. Like, no shit. Like, how about you break down how should I fucking invest my money? Like, you should buy and sell old stuff. Like, no shit. Like, okay, now I'm paying $200 to hear generic fluff.
Like a
So
month.
I just want viewers to be like wary of that.
It's funny you should mention that. So when I first really got into Instagram and trying to better myself, this was years ago. I was trying to learn how to invest, and there was this guy. Join me. I made X amount of millions of dollars. Now I just work from home. And for sake of anything, I'm not gonna say his name. Say Tim something. So Tim something was on, shooting that same shit you talking about. Join my I actually sent them a message like, yo, dude, like, I'm trying to get it in, man. How did you do it? Oh, well, join my team and
Yeah.
And I stopped right there because I'm like, yeah, you're full of shit. So I'm like, all right, I stopped right there. But I ended up, remember when I went to Florida for that trip?
Oh, yeah.
Convention?
Yep.
It ended up being something similar. It was Forex, foreign exchange trading.
I've seen that on the web too. Yep.
Now, foreign exchange trading is a real thing, and you can make money off of that. It's like the stock market. There's technically money to be made in Forex. The group that I was paying like about $200 a month for was, in essence, a pyramid scheme. They don't give a shit about teaching you how to trade. And the training programs were basic shit. Buy low, sell high, do this, do that. Like the shit that you could just learn on your own.
Right.
The scheme was, if you really want, like once you get in, all right, man, now here's the real thing. Build your team. The more money you bring in, the more money, like the more people you bring in, the more money you'll get. So, there are people in there that have money, but it's people that suckered 1,000 people in, and they're just collecting money just off the fact that they got people in. Ask them if they know shit about trading Forex, and they'll be like, I don't know shit about that.
What's Forex?
Yeah. So, the one good thing I got out of that trip, because by the time I went to Florida, I kind of knew it was bullshit. Like, I was like, all right, this is bullshit. I know it is, but a convention is a convention. If you could learn anything, then there's reasons that it would be worth it. So I went down there and, drove Like 2 days straight, man. Minus sleeping 10 minutes in my car. I had no money for hotels. I had nothing. I just had a game plan. Get to Florida and just rent a car. And I did. The one thing I got out of that, the convention was actually pretty cool. I'll give them credit. You know, it was inspiring. You know, that's what those conventions are. They will inspire you on the spot. Like,
Yeah.
it is a motivational thing. So if you're there for the motivation, and a part of me was, because like I said, by the time I got there, I've already convinced myself this shit is a pyramid scheme and it's bullshit. So by the time I got there, I was just there for whatever lessons I can grab. And I was out of work. So it was just like, I'm in Florida. I'm chilling right now. So one night, and this goes into why I'm straight edge right now. I do not smoke. I do not drink. My boy called me yesterday. He's like, yo, you still smoke? I want to come through. I'm like, come on through. You can smoke if you want. I'm like, I don't smoke anymore. All right, well, I'm going to bring a couple drinks. Nope, don't bring a beer. I mean, if you want to drink, go ahead. Like, I have not touched anything in a very long time. I am as clean as a whistle right now.
Nice.
So it took about 2 years for this part to sink in. And this is one of the reasons why I'm now straight edge. So one night after a convention, because it was like a 3-day convention thing. So after the second night, you know, one of like the team leads were like, yo, dude, man, we're only letting 50 people in. If you can get to this address, come on in. But after a certain time, we're cutting everybody off. So just try to get there early. Like, all right, bet. I'm like, that's what's up. So we get to this address. I drove down there. So I'm like, everybody get in. We out. We drove over there. And they rented out a mansion. Some MTV crib shit. Like, big ass fountain in the front lawn. Like, and you could tell where people's minds were at. Because everybody was taking selfies in front of it. Like, all the girls, all they want to do is take pictures by it. Like, everybody was stunting in front of the fountain. Go inside the mansion. Elevator in the mansion to get you where you know, to different floors.
Wow.
On top of a gigantic spiral staircase. Like, different levels. Different areas to the levels. The back, I don't want to say backyard because there's no, like, yard there. But the back area was pool, jacuzzi, connected to a little thing that you dock. They had a jet ski there, and it connected to the waterfront.
Yeah.
The river, the ocean, whatever the hell was that, it was connected to that. So it was a real nice, like, it was a mansion. It was some MTV crib shit. Like, I was like, holy shit, this is some real shit. So one of the very few things I got out of it was this. Guy's there to present. And he's like, everybody calm down. I want to talk. So everybody shut up. And it was like, bro, there was like 150 people in there. Jam-packed in this mansion. Just chilling, sweating. Because they ain't no AC in there. And it was fucking Florida during the summertime. So the guy starts off. He goes, everybody's chilling. Everybody's having a good time. Everybody's like, yeah. He goes, you know, everybody's in Florida, man. Everybody's relaxing. Everybody's, you know, partying, drinking, everybody's doing their thing. Yeah. He goes, fuck you guys doing that for? Everybody got quiet. He goes, I don't drink. You know when I drink? When it's time to celebrate. He goes, all y'all guys ask yourselves, what do you have to celebrate?
Nice.
And everybody got dead quiet. Like, from that moment on, everybody was pin drop quiet while he was talking. So now me, I took it for what it's worth, but I kind of left all that shit back in Florida. By the time I came back here, it was the grind of work. You know, it was back to the bullshit. So I didn't really have time to. I had the time. I just never did. I never put that into play. So, not a big drinker, but I had a drink when it was time to have a drink. Heavy smoker, so I was Bob Marley every chance I can get. But recently, I revisited that conversation when I said I was gonna stop everything. And out of the complete nonsense and bullshit that convention was, that was probably the realest moment of that entire thing. You know, what do you sell it? Like, that's smoking, drinking, like those type of things are when you're celebrating something. Like, what are you celebrating? I'm asking myself this. And, you know, I look around my surroundings. I look where I'm at in life. Look at my job and the horse shit grind that is. You know, I where I am and where I want to be. Not only is there no need to celebrate, you know, there's no reason to celebrate. So I took that to heart. It took a couple years for that thing to sink in, but I don't have anything to celebrate, man. I will drink and I'll have fun when it's time to have fun. But right now, you know, celebration is for what? If I'm at a wedding, sure. If we ever get together, you know, we're at a place and, you know, it's time to have a drink.
Jack and Coke for sure, kids.
Sure thing. You know, like a drink. But as far as any extent further than that, no. Got work I got to do, man. Like, it's not a reason to. It's not a reason to be in that frame of mind. You know, when you smoke and you drink and you do all that, it puts you in a different zone. And I don't want to be in that zone. I don't need to be in that zone. Technically, in those little, for what the definition of a celebration is, I don't deserve to be in that zone. So it's work now, play later. You know, whether I work until it doesn't work out and I never have another smoke or drink until I die because there was no reason to celebrate. That remains to be seen. But, you know, time to strap up the boots, man, and keep trudging. So it's my little story. It's funny because I actually was going to say that story, but if it wasn't brought up, I wasn't going to bring it up. And then you came up with that fucking get rich quick scheme. And that's what they are. Like, you know, you said it before, anything that's too good to be true, it is. Like, at the end of the day, hard work is going to win out, man. Like, that's it. There is no magic elixir. There is no fast. Yeah, people get fast money, but it's fast money. It comes and goes quick. If you want to be consistent with it, I wish there was another solution other than hard work and grind until you're dust. But that's it. So, you know, that's what it is, man.
Yeah.
It's a shame that so many people are falling for it. I mean, these guys are making a ridiculous amount of money.
That guy Tim something, and I don't mean to cut you off, but that guy Tim something, he makes his money getting people to buy his programs and all that. Like, that's how he's paid. That's how most of these guys are paid. It has nothing to do with, it's the most simple ABC 1, 2, 3 advice you can give. Like, again, the thing I was in, I was paying like $200 and change a month for nothing, for the same Zoom call every single day, every 2 days. It was the same call to a point that I was like, I know what they're going to say. I don't need to be in this conversation.
Wow.
Got nothing new out of it. Got nothing out of it. Other than that one trip to Florida that came out of my pocket. It's like $1.50 to go down there, rent a car, and pay for a B&B with the other people that were there. Like, I met great people over there. Like, the people that were in my team, people that were grinding away too. They were just trying to find the answers. So I met great people as far as like who was in the team. Team leader, car salesman. That's what they are. They're salesmen. And, you know, you try to cut corners, man, but there are no corners to cut. You know, everybody either finds that out the hard way or they listen to somebody like yourself or my story, and then they go, you know what? I'm just going to do this hard work.
Thank God in my situation, something like that, I never signed up, but I had like 2 meetings, and I got to be careful how I say certain, I'm not trying to say anyone's name or anything like that, but it was brought up to me about like this revolutionary type of drug that was supposed to like really cure this particular issue. And I was like, wow, if this is true, this is going to be like groundbreaking, you know, like it's good to be on the ground floor with this, if it's true going forward. So I'm like, all right, I'm interested. So then, but the person that was actually like, I guess that was recruiting me had spoke to somebody else that I knew. And the person that I knew was telling me about exactly what I was just describing as far as like this revolutionary drug is supposed to help out, da 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 da. So I'm like, all right, fine, let me talk to this other guy then. I talked to the other guy, and there's nothing, he says nothing in regards to this potential revolutionary drug. It was all about, you know, you got to get your team together. And once we get your team together, then we're going to really push this drug forward and stuff like that. And right there I knew, I'm like, all right, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
I remember I asked that foreign exchange trade shit. Like, we had another Zoom meeting, and it was like, join us for this special meeting. Top, I forgot the different tiers, but it was like a top tier person. They make 20 grand a month, blah, 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 blah. And she was like, you know, if you have any questions, now the time. She goes through this huge demonstration and PowerPoint, this and that. Nothing about foreign exchange trade. So I'm like, I'm waiting for my turn. And, you know, you hit the little button to raise your hand, and I hit it. And she goes, you know, Paul, what do you have to say? You know, you have a question? I'm like, yeah. So I don't care about building a team. I want to learn how to trade.
There you go.
I'm like, I don't care about building a team.
Let me guess, your connection. I'm gonna say your connection got lost.
Cut his mic.
Like Paul is gonna be lost for the rest of the meeting. Paul, if you ever get back on, please let us know.
I have just the answer, but you got to get back to us, and I give you the answer.
Yeah.
So, you know, she flat out said it though. I was like, you know, I have zero interest in building a team. I am here for myself to learn how to trade. And she goes, well, that's not what we do here. We build a team. Like, she just flat out said it. Who cares about the trading part? She goes, nah, there's a training program of some rinky dink. She didn't say this part, but, you know, again, it was like the most rinky dink, like, buy here, sell here. Like, the shit that, you know, if you do a second of basic research, that's the training they're going to give you.
Right.
And she was like, no, we build teams here. I'll tell you what, man, you get a few people, then get into your phone and go down your contact list. Get your mother, get your sister, get anybody to sign up for this thing. And then if you find somebody and they have questions, you bring them to me and I'll talk to them. And that like, yeah. How do you learn how to trade though? And I was like, nah, we don't do that here. It's Forex. Things called Forex, foreign exchange trading. Like, that was the main focus of it. And that was the least thing that they were concerned about. It was build your team. Because if you get X amount of people, and then they get X amount of people, and those people get X amount of people, then you're at this level, and you're making this much.
The bottom of the pyramid.
Yeah, you know, those are pyramids.
I hate that shit. Just the fact that you got to, like, beg someone, or you got to, like, try to persuade someone to, like, one, get their money and their time and interest into something that's not even truly true. Like, then how do you feel? That's what, and I assume that you're going to reach out to people that you trust and know, right?
Well, I'm fortunate enough that I know people that's going to go, well, have you made money yet?
Wait, say that again?
I'm fortunate enough that I know a lot of people that will call me out on bullshit. Like, well, how much have you made off of it? And I told her that, you know, when I was talking to the lady, I'm like, look, man, I deal with people that's going to call bullshit. Like, if I say if I tell them, hey, I made money on trading, and I could show them proof that I made money trading, I'm like, I can get them in. If not, I told them, I'm like, it's a pyramid scheme. If not, that's what they're going to call me out on. Oh, well, those people, we just don't listen to them because those are negative people, and we don't do with negativity.
Those are truthers.
So, yeah, you have to be on the lookout for it, man. You know, by all means, if you think that your thing is the thing that's going to elevate you above it, you do what you have to do. But at the end of the day, man, it's grinding and it's hard work. Like, that is always self-proven. Like those get-rich-quick schemes, haven't seen one that works yet. Other than the people that are suckering all the other people in. Those people are making money.
Oh, yeah.
Like the CEOs of all those that have everybody under them, they're banking. Like, holy shit, like, they have money, yeah, but
there's only a few tiers of that actually make, exactly. There's only a few tiers that make money from that setup.
if you get 2 people, you're on a tier of this. And then you don't, like I think it was like if you get 3 people, you don't have to pay anything a month because they're basically
Paying for you.
But if those people get other people, and then those people get other people, and you still get a person of this and this and this, and you hear some of the people, like you hear the Zoom call, and after that, it's all I needed to hear. But I want to hear the rest of the call. And you just hear people like begging for that quick fix, man, that quick way to get money. And it's like, nah, like there is no quick fix, man. There is none. People think that, and again, I get the dollar and a dream lotto ticket. Like, this is it. This is going to be the golden ticket. Like, I get it. But it's not as life works, man. So you either learn one way or you learn the other way. I learned mine cost me $200 a month and a trip to Florida. That was about $1,500 because I believed in the foreign exchange trading. But now, literally, you can do it. Anybody can learn how to do it and learn how to trade foreign exchange trade without the $250 a month plus this, plus we don't even care about that. Just get your team up. It all goes back to research. It all goes back to finding the answer. Anybody could join the stock market and be as successful as you can be in it. Excuse me. And the market is unpredictable. So there's never a way that you will master it. But do your research on it. Read some things on it. Go pick the brains of people that are doing it. That's not a pyramid scheme. And you'll be better at it. That's what it is. That foreign exchange shit, do the research on it. Read different methods of how to do it. There's different patterns that you see that you can figure out, and that'll tell you whether to buy or sell and this and that. Master those and you'll be able to do it. But as far as like $200 a month for, every other day Zoom calls that are the exact same Zoom calls, and it's funny because the team leader after a while started to get annoyed because everybody, the first time around when I went to Florida, that team just wanted to learn how to trade. That's all anybody in the team cared about. Nobody cared about getting anybody on their team. Everybody was like, yo, I'm trying to learn how to trade, man. And after Zoom call after Zoom call, like it got to the point that he was like, yo, guys, I'm not trying to be whatever, but nobody's trying to get people on their team. Like, this is not working out. Like, da-da-da. Like, start to chastise people. Because nobody was giving a fuck about that part of it.
Yeah, because his money wasn't hitting. That's why.
Yeah.
Pockets. Yeah. Because your pockets making matter off of us. Yeah.
Because he was making small change off people, but they didn't care about that part. Like, I'm not a salesman. I hate anything that has to do with selling shit to people.
And I am in the same fucking boat, man. Oh man, do I hate that. It's like you gotta sell your soul, man, to a point.
You have to be a certain type of scumbag to be a salesman. That's no disrespect to anybody that selling cars, selling insurance, selling anything. You have to have a certain mentality to go with it. And it's kind of scumbaggery. It is. Like, to be a salesman, you have to be a certain type of cutthroat. That's it. You do. I'm not that. Like, if a person says no, I'm like, all right, no doubt. I'm a horrible salesperson because I don't have that in me. To be like, well, how about if we do this and then we do this, and then I'm sugarcoating and lying to get somebody's hard-earned money. Like, I'm not that type of person.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I'm not in the same boat.
I do have one other thing for viewers to watch out for. So there's this genre of rap called scam rap that I've been recently made aware of.
The same face we both. I know. I said Paul and I both in the same face. Like,
so it's called scam rap. So you got these young up and coming scammers where they've done credit card scams where it's pretty scary stuff. I went like down a rabbit hole. Like I saw this one thing, then I started going down, and then it was just crazy. But anyway, so scam rap is basically these young kids. You might have heard this kid. His name is TJ6 something. He's the kid that was talking about the credit card scams he does, and he went live on Instagram, and then the cops busted in on him while he was on live talking about scamming. It went viral.
Sure
but he's also a rapper, but he talks about how to scam. And there's this one scam out there that's pretty interesting. I hate to say it, but it's pretty interesting. So what this one guy suggested, and he says he's pulled this off, is, so what you do is you go find a homeless person and you basically assume their identity. But of course he has people that makes like illegal IDs and stuff and documents and all stuff. So what you do is you assume his identity. If it's perfect if they don't have credit, because what they have out there is called you can buy trade lines for a certain amount of money, which is like you pay a certain amount. You can go to like tradelinesupply.com and you could see how much it costs to add history to your credit line. So you could, for like $500, you can add a person's trade history that has like a 750 credit score. But it only lasts for a certain amount of time on your credit score. So then once you get his credit score, the homeless person's identity up to like 750, what you do is then you go to the bank and request either like a home loan or some loan for the maximum amount. Then what you do is cash it out, and then you just disappear because it's really a homeless person's identity you just took.
And like you said, that it stays, or that temporary thing on their credit score goes away after a while, right?
Right. The history, you can get like a 10-year. They can fill it up with like 10 years prior worth of stuff.
Will, you either made people scared of this scam, or you just
or
this scam by 1,000%. Because a part of me is thinking, where's there a homeless person at?
That's where I said, I feel bad because it did sound interesting, so that I kept going down the rabbit hole.
Rabbit holes on the crazy thing. The only rabbit hole I ever like, wow, this is a bad rabbit hole, has been porn. That's the only rabbit hole you don't want to go too far down, because then you see some shit that you probably like, oh wow, is that person like pissing on the other person? Like, oh, that's going too far down the rabbit hole. But no,
that's the furthest you went down that rabbit hole.
that's the furthest I'm willing to admit that.
You got like 8 more basements to get down to. Basements inside the basements.
So, yeah. Will, thank you for either
inspiring.
You might have just inspired people. Thank you for educating or inspiring, or educating and inspiring. Either way, I didn't know that, so
that's pretty good.
He beat the system. He's constantly posting.
Well, until he got busted. Just.
But the key thing is you should do it like in another state. Like he goes to a completely different state, so that and assumes the identity, whatever. So it has nothing to do with around where he lives or whatever.
And the other thing, don't post it on Instagram Live. Like, people are fucking idiots, man.
Yo, it's crazy. When this kid got caught, the thing is, the kid got caught. You see the police busted in. I saw the video, and then he keeps the video on, and then you see the cop like, and then you see the cop like turn off the phone.
So they didn't even know. Wow. So even better, they didn't even know that he was going to be broadcasting.
Right. They didn't even know.
I thought they were waiting for him to go live with it. And they're like, okay, yo, he's on now. Let's go in there. So it seems like the cop didn't even know.
Nice.
And then I saw this other interview down the rabbit hole too. I didn't know how far this stuff goes. Like, they have not only the skimming device where You swipe your card, it takes your credit card info. Then they have secret cameras placed where it shows you can get your PIN. When you do your PIN, it videotapes you doing your PIN. That's why you should always cover your hand. Anyway, and then they have these machines where you can get a generic credit card made blank. You can emboss the Citibank or whatever logo on it, imprint the numbers, transfer the metadata of the thing that you skimmed to that credit card, and then you could go in and be like, so they like perfectly copied, credit cards.
I'm just here taking notes, Will.
My thing with stuff like that, all right, if you have the brain, the knowledge, the time, and the effort to kind of do something like that, why don't you do something where it can actually generate you money, like legally?
Going back,
I've always said that about like hackers. It boggles my brain with hackers. I'm like, they're out there hacking and doing all this bad stuff, but I'm like, why don't you guys do some Mr. Robot shit, like hack the IRS, clean out everyone's taxes that they owe, hack the student loan shit, wipe them shits out, like.
Please. Oh yeah, is any listeners out there? Please, yo, student loan shit, please.
right? Any hackers listening,
please.
These guys right here and me, take care of our student loan debt.
Join our team and hack the
team. Build your team.
That goes into that's money mentality, man.
Yeah.
It costs too much hard work to do things the right way. So if you just do a quick scam, and get away with it, but you run the risk. Like fast money, be prepared to have the cops beating down your door on Instagram Live, if you don't do it the right way. Like that's the balance of it all.
The one guy about the credit card embosser and all of that stuff, he ended up making somewhere around 3-point-something million. And then eventually he did get caught. And then he said that money is sitting somewhere because he created like a shell company of a shell company. And the thing is, he had the card, but the IRS or whatever confiscated, the cops confiscated his computer, all the credit cards. So there's an account out there with like millions of dollars just sitting there.
Well, I think you're definitely doing more inspiring than making people aware of.
I'm gonna try to find that account somewhere.
Well, let me ask you guys this then: how long is that sentence? Do you think? Like, what's that sentence if he's guilty? So let's just say he's found guilty. How long is that sentence for?
I'm trying to remember in the interview. You know what? I'll send you guys the link to the interview, but I forget what he got.
It's got to be some time. That's a lot of crimes, man. That's federal.
But luckily, he was young. He was like young enough and like might have been the first offender.
Would 5 years be worth 3.5?
Now that's a good question.
Because a younger me is taking that bid. I'll get out, and when I get out, I'll have 3.5 waiting for me.
Wait, you didn't add that in before. So like, what is the exact stipulation? Like, you get caught, but that money, that secret stash of money that you had, once you get out, you got it. It's gonna be yours. You're gonna be good.
They don't have it. He said he has a stash in a dummy corporation and a dummy corporation and another dummy corporation. They
what
can't.
Do you think? Okay, I'm sorry. No, guys.
The only downside to that is he had in dummy corporation, but all the info was on the laptop, like the actual account number, the PIN, so he can actually access it. So he may have to like break into the freaking police station to get it. But anyway.
All right, but let's just say, for argument's sake, you had that money waiting for you. Whatever means you have it, it's there waiting for you. But it's going to cost you 5 to 10. Let's just say 5 with good behavior. Just say 7 with good behaviors. 3.5 million worth 7 years of your life.
Okay, nothing right now. I'm good. I like my freedom too much. I get it. I get what's coming to me, or eventually what will come to me. But that time before that,
I like how that's your answer, and me, Will, just said it like this.
like, I don't know, man. I don't
Really
know.
contemplating.
I mean, I'll go in. I'll be more diesel when I get out because I worked out so much in jail.
Probably gonna be reading mad books. Oh man,
they could do me like the movie Demolition Man. Just freeze me in spot for like 7 years and then just
all right.
me out.
Hey, okay. If that's like a legit thing, I sign me up. I will take that.
All right, so we're not living in Demolition
I have
Man.
to be in cryostasis or whatever that they call that.
So minus cryostasis, if you had to be in a prison for 7 years.
7 years. Damn, you said 5 before.
Well, so 5. I mean, if those 2 extra years are the deal breaker, then 5.
he got that X training. That X.
We say 5 to 10, 5 for good behavior.
Yeah, I'm without the cryogenesis thing, whatever. I'm good.
And after those 5 years, there's $3.5 million waiting for you.
5, I'll do it. 10, nah.
But you got to figure that whatever organization is onto you, they're gonna track your movements. I'm sure when you get out, so you're not gonna be able just. You're gonna have to. I don't know how you're gonna do that. How are you gonna access that money?
Well,
Even if you had. I'm sorry. No, I was gonna say even if you have the information as far as like your the account number and the passcode, the person that got locked up, their identity. I think they're gonna be monitoring you for a while before they just like, oh yeah, by the way, he's good again.
So just wait after you get out, wait like another year and then do it.
Well, again, for sake of this discussion, forget there's an extra group following you. Forget all that shit. 5 years. 5 years and day 1, you had $3.5 million.
I'm taking it.
I'm taking that bid.
I'm taking it.
There's a good chance I would. Like Will said, just come out a little bit more bigger, have a couple extra tattoos on me, like, good.
Get some good alone time,
Possibly have a new family, even with a gang or something like that, like,
Some new friends.
I forgot to mention that I also follow there's this other scammer that turned legit. So I follow him on Instagram, and one of the things he said was, when he went to jail, it was different for him because he became so known as a scammer or whatever. When he got to jail, he was teaching people, like people wanted to know, like, yo, how do you scam? Because, people were going to get out of jail too. So they just wanted to know. So he was there like giving classes in jail and like what he did.
So he was chilling.
Sometimes you got to watch out I always say this, it's like the littlest things will trip you up. Like, if I remember correctly, what tripped him up was, so in his scheme, if he would make 10,000, so his scheme was a little different. So what he would do is, let's say he had a credit card for $10,000 limit, right? I would go to like Len and be like, yo, Len, go to such and such place and charge up my card with $10,000 worth of stuff. Just make sure you're like, you got a hoodie on so you can't be like really recognized. So Len would go to the store, charge up 10,000 worth of stuff.
Allegedly.
Come back. And then he would call up the credit card company and be like, hey, that wasn't me, blah, 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 blah. The credit card companies have insurance. They would put the 10,000 back on. Where he fell off was, and it's always the little things, you got to take care of the person. Like, if I made 10,000, I got to break Len off some bread. He didn't break off the person bread. Person got mad, snitched on him, and that's how he got in. So it's always like the littlest thing.
And I was thinking about that when you first started the story, as far as like getting a homeless person. I'm like, yo, I would hope at least that they hook up the homeless person, make them not homeless anymore if you're gonna be scamming like that much money.
I bet you they didn't, but I would at least think they would break them off some bread.
With
Literal
that,
bread.
yeah. I was gonna say. So with that, greed will get you. Like,
Yeah.
Wait, say that again?
Greed will get you.
Oh,
That's it's more of a big thing than a small thing, but that's a part of the game. Like, you can't be greedy in it. If you make 10, like let's just say, break 3 off for whoever just helped you,
Exactly.
and you're good. Because A, that's a sign of, all right, thank you. You know, here's your cut. But B, you're now tied to it. You're going to jail with me. So it gives you a reason to not. You laugh, but it's true.
No, aiding and abetting, right? Aiding and abetting, whatever.
Yeah, like, you are now accomplice in this.
Accomplice.
Here's your 3. Thank you for the help. But if I was you, if you say anything, that's your ass. Unless you're gonna give up the 3 and then give somebody up, like, then you're just a hunk of shit. But there's your 3. Keep quiet. Hush money. It's called hush money. Here, thank you. Shut up. You have somebody that makes 10 and uses somebody to get the 10 and takes all 10 with them. You're asking for it. Like, that's just common sense 101. As far as breaking off a homeless person, here's a Happy Meal. Like, what are you gonna do with a homeless person? Not make you home? Like, if I now I'm not make you homeless, your credit score's fucked up because we just did this game. So
and the gig is up. Yeah.
He's doesn't need money. I'll feed you for a month. Every month I come by with a whole new fucking meal for you. Here you go.
Something.
You have to break off the people that you're helping. But if with the homeless guy, depending on how you get the information, you may never need to see this person ever again, and he's homeless. So, not really a greedy factor there. You're just being a nice guy if you're coming back like, all right, man, here, thanks. But if he doesn't know what the hell you're getting his information for, you don't need to ever see that person again. The person that's like, hey guys, Will, Len, I have a scheme. I'm about to bank like 20 stacks. And at the end of it, I go, thanks, guys. I'll see you for the next podcast. And you get not a dime off of it.
Yeah.
That makes me a piece of shit, and that makes you vindictive.
Yeah.
You got to play this game right. So I don't know how we just turned into a criminal podcast right now, how to do it, but
Hey,
I'm sure we get a lot of views now with this one.
Will, it's gonna all be questions for Will. Like, yo, Will, do you have the person's name? Like, what's their Instagram on that?
Now, Bam Kevo actually has he's the one that turned legit. That's the one that the guy snitched on him. That's how he got caught. He does have this legit, and I've been still researching it because of the whole trade lines thing, where you buy history, basically good history. So what he does is, what he suggests is so let's say your credit is 5 something, so you spend like 2,000 on a trade line, get like 3 good things or histories on your credit, boost yourself up to like 750, 7 whatever. Then what you do is, and you only have a limited amount of time with these trade lines. So you go to the bank and you try to get a loan, like a small business loan. And what he said is, let's say he got 100,000. He took 50,000 and another 50,000 and paid down on 2 Lamborghinis. And then what he did was he opened up an exotic car rental, and he said, and those things, I actually went on Google and searched exotic car rentals, and they rent from like $2,000 a day. So when you do that throughout the year, the rental basically pays for the car, basically, is what he's getting at.
So, I mean, I'm sure there's like insurance things that have to be involved with that as well.
Yeah, I mean, if person wrecks the car and all of that stuff, which he probably doesn't even mention, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
Wait, you have to pay to get your credit boosted.
Right.
That's still a hustle.
Yep, it's still a hustle.
This legit guy is doing things not so legit to do.
That's why I said legit, because I even started Googling trade lines, and then some people say it's illegal, some people say it's legal. I still don't know whether if it's legal or illegal.
That shit sounds illegal to me. What are you gonna say, Len?
Oh, no, I was like waiting for you to say something else. No, I think it's I think it's legal, man. Because if they okay it, I mean, I'm sure the IRS, the last thing they want to do is like lose money and like you look the fool. So if that stuff can go down and actually happen, why would it?
That's
like,
why I think it's illegal.
So I did I'm sorry to cut you off, but I did a credit fix thing as well, where I basically paid some guy to go do things for me, whatever, but not like go to court and actually fight these things that were still on my credredit. Yeah. I know it's a different setup, but I mean, I still paid money, and then with that paid money, my credit score did increase after I got those things cleared away.
Yeah,
so like same thing.
I don't think that's what he's talking about, though. I'm gonna pay this hacker to show up to court and fight my case. Nah, I don't think that's what he's paying for.
No, what you're really
what he said was like legit though. I mean, like again, if there was something that was stopped, there would be something to stop that if it was like truly bad, right? I would assume.
I would assume too. I mean, it's technically, let's say my credit score was a 500 and Len's score was a 750. I'm basically just saying, hey Len, can you put me on your credit, which is authorized user. They call it an AU.
Wait, is this the same scheme as far as like? Wait, is this the same scheme as far as like getting the homeless person, or the one that you just referenced just a second ago?
Well, that's the thing. So this is where he says it's legal and illegal based on what you're using it for. In the case of the homeless person, yes, it's illegal.
You're taking their identity.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you can't.
Right, that's illegal. But he's saying in the case of this, where you're just trying to up your credit to get a loan to take out a business, he's saying that's legal because it's technically me saying, hey Len, can you put me on your credit for 3 months just to get my credit score up so I can get this loan?
I must have missed that part when you said it earlier because I didn't hear that part. But
yeah, that's what they call it, trade lines. If you go to tradelinesupply.com, you see the different prices and you'll see the different credit score people have. Oh, wow. Highest is 850, but I think that's like 1,000 or 2,000 or something. But that's how far the rabbit hole I went down researching. All of this stuff was pretty interesting.
Dude, I'm glad I ain't go down that rabbit hole with you because I'm quite sure I'd be halfway in the scheme right now.
Or be like in the Cayman Islands or something like that right now.
Hi, my name is Peter Zinnerberg. Yeah.
My name is Walter White.
Yeah. That's interesting. I'm tempted to look further into that, but I'm also scared if I do, I'm going to start a scam. So
you're going to be like me, go down the rabbit hole.
And next thing you know, no more podcasts because I'm in the Virgin Islands relaxing.
Nice.
I think I spent like, after my first thing, I spent like 12 hours basically going down the rabbit hole. I was up like 4 a.m. just like, all right, trying to piece things together. Because not all the scam rappers give you all the information. So you actually have to like really look into it.
You got to buy the full album.
Yep.
So speaking of scams, I'm sure you guys have noticed, well, I don't know if it's a scam or not, but it just makes me question a scam. How like certain or a lot of the famous rappers, you'll see like their posts like, yo, DM me if you want to get on a record with me or some shit like that. How legit is that? Do you guys know anything about that?
I don't. I do know about the other one where they say there's another scam going on called the Cash App scam, where I'm sure you guys have seen it, where they'll say, send me $10, I'll send you 100. Send me 20, I'll send you. So they explain how the actual person that has scammed doing this explain how this happens. So what they do is, if Len sends me $10, right?
Really?
I send him back 100 just to gain his confidence. So then Len is like, oh shit, you sent me back 100. This shit really works. I'm gonna do
5,000.
500 now. And when you send that 500, that's when I'm off with your money. So that's how that scam works.
I know somebody that happened to, and God bless him, I tried to warn him while it was all unfolding, and he did not listen, and he lost almost a stack.
Wow.
Yeah, because he got an Instagram message. He was like, yo, Paul, this person's saying if I send them this much, I get this much back. I'm like, dude, and I gave him one of your lines. I'm like, that sounds too good to be true. I'm like, I wouldn't do that. And he was thinking about it. He's like, yo, but I could do this with this. I'm like, yeah, I hear you, but what's the benefit? Like, where does that person win? Like, how is that person, like, how is that working? Like, you need to ask them how it works.
Right.
And he asked him. And he just came back with some more smooth shit. Like, nah, I'm just saying, man, if you bring this, I'm telling you, I'm bringing it. Like, never answered it. I'm like, bro, he never answered you. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, look, man, you do what you got to do. I'm like, if you get a lot of money back, because I think at that point it was 800, and he gets back like 10 stacks. It was some ridiculous amount that he would get back for like 1,000, but different tiers on how much he could send.
Uh-huh.
And the dude was like, it was last year tax season. So he got his tax money in. And he was like, yo, I think I'm gonna send him like 400. I'm like, I wouldn't, man. I'm like, I wouldn't do it. And then he gassed himself up even more. He was like, nah, I'm gonna send him to 8. I'm like, dude, like, don't do it, man. I'm telling you, I'm like, you need to start asking these people questions, because how's that person making back? Like, how's that person making a profit if you're sending them 8 and they're getting back like 16 to 20?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Like, there's no benefit in that person. He goes, well, maybe it could be somebody, like, then he just started to justify it with some crazy shit. It could be sending to a drug dealer. He needs money way to wash his money. I'm like, yo.
So yeah, you want to be even more part of it. Yes.
So at the end of it, you know, he gassed himself enough that he was like, I'm sending it. Sent it. The last time he heard from that person.
Yep.
He said, yo, it's gonna be back and within the day. So on the next day, I'm like, how'd that work out? Nah, and I'm gonna talk to him because I ain't getting nothing back yet. Hit him back. No response. Hit him back. No response.
Yep.
Then he was just mad. Whatever.
Yeah. One of my boys got like that too, and
damn. You know what? I need to start doing this stuff, because if people are falling for this stuff, I need to start doing it.
Hey.
And it's legal. It's technically legal, they said, because when you're sending the money, there's something saying, hey, you acknowledge that you're sending this money, blah, 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 blah. It's completely legal. You can't.
Everybody wants that fast money. Oh, I could send you 500 and I get back 15? Holy shit. Let's do it. Like, that one, I'm not biting on. I'll do that Forex shit. They got me on that. Because, you know, foreign exchange trading, you can make money. We'll teach you how to fucking make money off the foreign exchange. That was a whole bunch of bullshit. But to say, give me 1,000, you'll get back 20. Common sense will tell you that shit just doesn't even add up.
Yeah, it don't make no sense.
And people still bite, man. People still see that fast money. Like, oh, I get to make $19,000 from doing nothing. Yeah. Sign me up. And then
I forgot how my boy got introduced to that. I think it was like an email or something like that. I forgot how exactly, but so they told him the proposition, whatever. He was like, all right, bet. And at the time, he was like, yo, I was hating my job, and I couldn't wait to get out, and I had to beg my sister for some extra money so I can send off to the person. And he was about to quit his job because he was so convinced by this.
Wow, really?
He was about to quit his job. So then he sent the money in, and then the guy was like, "Yo, I'm gonna get back to you in a couple of days."
Yeah.
And then, or no, I'm sorry. He said, "All right, send the money, but the only reason why you're sending this extra amount of money, along with the money he originally sent, was because he said they said that there was some kind of exchange policy when you're coming from a different country, so you need to like give money in order to get the other money back, like something like that." So this kid did all that and started calling numbers like every day. Nobody picked up. No, nothing. Yo, I laughed so hard in the car ride. Yo, I had to pull over. I was like, yo, there's no way you let this shit happen to you, man. There's no way. There's no way. He's like, yeah, man.
You'd be dumbfounded by people that would just go sign me up. Like, oh my God, your man was ready to quit his job. Now he had to work overtime to pay back his shit.
He said, yo, I can't tell you, like when he was in the car with me, he was like, yo, I can't tell you how, because that day when he decided, like, or when things were, the ball was rolling on that and it seemed like it was real to him, he just happened to have like a bad day at work. And he was ready to just quit. Because like, fuck this. I don't need this. I'm about to get X amount of dollars. Screw this people. I'm good.
Oh,
but something, I don't know what it is, but he said something told him not to do that. And thank God he did it, because guess what? He had to go to work Monday, right? Back to work Monday.
With lighter pockets.
Yeah. And the shame, I don't know, because you pretty much had to tell, well, I assume that you probably had to break down and tell your sister the exact reason why. Like, one, that you don't have the money, and then two, what you spent it on.
I would say I got robbed.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Stuck me up. Somebody stuck
Just say
me
you
up.
got robbed. Yeah.
Yo, Debo came around, took it.
Word. R.I.P. Debo. Yep.
I was gonna say rest in peace, Devo.
Yeah, word up.
People fall for it, especially old people. With that whole Jamaican lottery scam, this old couple got scammed out of $700,000.
Jesus, rice and chicken.
They were like this 70 or 80-year-old couple. They had their savings or whatever, and it was mostly the wife. The husband, what happened was the wife didn't really tell the husband.
We should definitely do this. Hold up. We should definitely redo this over, like with Jamaican accents and everything.
You want to rock with me?
Idiot thing that.
So because when they interviewed the husband was like, yo, if she would have told me about this, I would have shut it down. Like, who knows? He probably would have fell for it. But anyway, she kept sending it. And the thing that gets me, it's like, how can you logically think they say you won the lottery, you won X amount of money, but you have to send me $50,000 to
take it out of my cut. Take it right out of my cut. You want that money? Take it out of my cut then.
Right?
Give me the rest. Give me that big portion.
I felt bad for them because after that they were completely depleted. I mean, luckily they had kids and their kids can bail them out. But yo, that's like, we're talking $700,000 here.
So that's wait for $700,000.
Yep, she kept sending them, and he kept calling back saying, "Oh, this happened. It's caught up." Every time he made up something and was getting more and more money, and it totally wiped out their savings. I was just like totally dumbfounded, and part of me was like, "Fuck! I wish that I was that person." Because if you're gonna be that stupid, I mean, I can understand 800, they swindled you out of it, but $700,000, I was like, yo, you fucking deserve that shit.
Honestly, I thought you said 7,000 the first time you spoke. I didn't. That's why I was like, what did you say? 700.
Their complete life savings.
That's a lot of. That's a lot of the.
It's a lot of jerk taking.
Hitting that click button to send. Like, yo, how many times are you gonna be like, all right,
Yeah. At what point you're gonna? Be like,
wow.
Depending on what it is, I can't even understand 800. Like when my man was showing me the thing, look, here's the chart. This much will get you like triple this, like this. I'm like, dude, where's the logic in that? Like, how was that person making any money? They're just rich and giving extra money away. Like, give me 100, I'll give you 5. Give me a stack, I'll give you 20. Like, that makes no sense. People just see the dollar signs, man. Their eyes just light up with the dollar signs. That fast money will make fools out of people.
Uh-oh.
This kid sound like Megatron.
You're breaking up. Yeah, you sound like Megatron right now, Paul.
Oh, wow. There's my internet connection.
Okay, now you sound regular.
You're back.
I think it was your connection.
It was my connection. I don't understand. Like, even the 800, I don't even understand. There's no logic in that. Like, how's this person going to make a profit? I was just saying I don't understand. Like, sometimes logic just takes a back seat. People see the dollar signs and common sense gets thrown right out the window. So I don't get it.
Just please, yo, if I ever come to y'all with some shit like that, put me in my place, please.
I'm gonna try.
Okay, they got caught. Actually, I just Googled it. It was $700,000, but they did track down the guy in Jamaica.
Did they say like how many? Oh, so it was wait. So the people that lost their money, were they Jamaican or just a person that scammed?
Oh no! When I was watching the special on TV, it was like this old white couple.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Did they? Oh yeah. One more question. Did they say like how many payments they gave? See, well, now you're frozen, Will.
They just said multiple packages.
That's crazy.
I don't. Yeah. It's just beyond me, man.
Yeah.
I don't feel as bad spending $200 a month for foreign exchange trading. That never existed.
How many months did you do that for, though?
Enough that it was over $1,000.
Okay.
So, you know.
But that's how I felt about the same exact feeling like you guys that you just got from like, you know, that the international trading thing. The same feel I got like when I went to this voice acting school that's down or over near where I am. So they charge you like a certain amount. I think it's like $3,000, right? For I think it's like a little bit over a year of training. You only go once a month. For over $3,000, you only go once a month to talk about like what you're doing, and then that's it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can find something a little bit better than that.
I was like, what? And like, and they just gave me like this pamphlet, like, all right, read this a couple times and then practice it, and then when you come back in the month, we're gonna go over it again.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, yo, all right. Yeah.
Should have put a cartoon voice and told them to go fuck themselves.
But it was crazy though, because like the place, even when I went for like the orientation, like the night of, it seemed like they just had a whole bunch of paid actors. And again, I'm getting this vibe. I could be crazy.
Nah, you gotta go with your vibe, man.
I'm like, everybody was asking like the perfect questions and everything was just like so perfect. And I was like, yo, this just doesn't seem right, man. And then I forgot the other thing that tipped me. Oh yeah, so that when I go for the actual, like my first class, which was free, as I'm walking in, first of all, the place, it looks like it was like a shell. So they'll have like a drum kit, a piano, like all the equipment that you would need like for a studio out. And it just looked like it was never touched. Like it was just never used, right? It was like all perfectly like placed, right? So anyway, so I go for the first class. As I walk in, someone writes like, it must have been like a 2-year-old writes, happy demo day. Like that's like the day, like the last day you're there, the last day you're there, you like create your demo and then you're on your way and that's it, right? So I guess they must have put like, try to look like a big advertisement as like 2 people must have just had their demo day and like they were on their way, like this is working for them, you know? So I open the door, nobody hears me come in. And then I hear the guy that was eventually going to be like the teacher talking to 2 other people, like, I guess, I hear whisper like, when he comes in, you guys should just go out the front or something like that. They were saying there's something like really shady. Like you wouldn't be saying that. Like if it's like the next client or the client before, why would like, I don't know. It just seemed like off.
It's a hustle, man.
Yeah. And I was like, yo, thank God. I was close to doing it because that's how hungry I was. But then I was like, yo, this just doesn't sound right, man. this doesn't sound right. So like I stopped it, and thank God I did, man.
Yeah. At least
Yeah.
that was some type of schooling. You know,
Yeah,
the other shit just like, here, send me this, you'll get this, and there you
but
go.
that might have been like the next level of the scam, to actually have like get the visual effect of it as well, you know, of what's going on.
Yeah. Nah, it's learning experiences all the way around, man. You were just quick enough to say fuck this quicker than most.
Yeah.
Will, you're right over there, Will?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Because you haven't moved in like 5 minutes.
Like, yo, can you at least blink once? Let us know you're all right. Like the Madonna song, he's frozen.
Nice.
Her heart's not open.
Yeah.
Mm. You got anything, Len?
Not really. But KD's back tonight, which is good. Brooklyn Nets fan, so Kevin Durant's back.
Season started?
It's preseason.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got Kyrie too, right?
Yeah.
Kyrie got in hot water.
Yeah, he
Got in hot water for saying LeBron's not clutch, which I don't know why. I don't know why he's not clutch.
Yeah. You know what? Kyrie's a great basketball player. I'm not 100% all in on him.
That's fair. Help LeBron get a ring.
No doubt. But he just comes off a certain way all the time. I know he's like supposed to be like this.
The earth is flat.
Yeah, so this amazing intellect. And not saying that he's not, because every time you see him talk or speak, you definitely tell like there's a lot of thought behind like a lot of his comments and whatever. But there's just something about him, man. I'm just like, if he wins me a championship, I'll be okay with it. But
I saw a stat on LeBron that said on the inside, his numbers are like Shaq, field goal percentage. From the outside, his numbers are like Shaq if he was shooting jumpers.
You know what? Yeah, I can see that.
They showed his numbers because it was like another comparison between Jordan and LeBron. Mm-hmm. And from the outside, I forgot the percentage, but it was abysmal. Like LeBron on the inside is unstoppable. He's like Shaq in the paint. His jumper game is horrendous. And they show like his clutchness. Like, yo, Kyrie, you may be wrong about the flat earth thing, but you're not wrong with LeBron. Like, LeBron's going to go down as one of the greatest. To me, top 10 all-time greatest players that ever walked the face of the earth. Clutchness and all, like, you're dropping on that. Like, there's more clutch players than you. Sorry, like LeBron, oh, man, that hurt. So does your field goal percentage. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
How many times did he get, like, criticized for when, like, there were, like, there were moments where he should have took the last shot that he passed it out?
But then that goes into, assassin mentality. Doesn't have it. He's more of a Magic Johnson than a Michael Jordan. That's fine, but I remember when he won his championship in Cleveland, I knew right then I was the greatest of all time. Get the fuck out of here with that horse shit. Like, yo, you're not the greatest of all time. Stop proclaiming it.
Yeah.
Again, I always say a lion doesn't have to go around the jungle letting other animals know he's a lion.
True.
You know, LeBron's just lying, but he ain't not the animal lion. He's just lying.
Mad lion.
Mad lion. I was thinking the same thing.
And that has nothing to do with, again, like you're amazing. You're a tight end that can play basketball. You're amazing. You're going to be one of the top 10 of all time. But to me, you're not top 5, maybe number 5. But no, there's other players that are better than you as far as who I'd want.
He could steamroll his way into the lane for like a hoop. That's his go-to move. Shrugging people off.
They show his defense sometimes. Like when he doesn't want to play, like Jordan played every possession, all defense, all offense, all everything. I've seen LeBron like literally, they showed things of LeBron like literally dudes coming down the lane and he did like a little foot kick towards him. The defense just let him go by.
He did the Gary Payton to Jason Kidd.
Oh yeah.
he did. He quit against the Mavericks.
Oh yeah.
Playing like, bro, there's things that make you not a GOAT. Sorry, and you're not clutch like that. Have you hit clutch shots? Yes, you have. I'm not gonna deny that. Are you? If the game was on the line, you wouldn't be my first, second, or third choice to who I'd want to have the ball. It is what it is.
Yeah. He's more of a lamb than a goat. Yeah.
The greatest lamb of all time.
Loat.
The G.L.O.A.T.
The G.L.O.A.T. All right, so hold on. We just started stuff. Hold on. So
he's the G.L.O.A.T. Yo, he's the G.L.O.A.T. Ah, dude, Len, you're awesome for that. That was hilarious. Well, the only thing I had was I guess we'll end it off as this because we're going long. But the only thing I had was professor and a retired general by the name of Haim Eshed. He's from Israel, I think. Yes. And he claimed that Israel and the U.S. are dealing with aliens, but the aliens don't want to be known because we're not ready to deal with that yet, the human species. Have you guys heard?
I saw this story. I was trying to look for it, but I forgot the story. It was earlier in the week. I'm like, man, there was a story I wanted to save, and this was it. So I'm glad that you found it.
So, he's not a kook. He's a professor. He has degrees. He has awards, including 3 Israeli security awards, twice for confidential technological inventions. So already he's doing some low-key shit that no way knows about. So he was quoted as saying that they have been waiting for humanity to evolve and reach a stage of general understanding of what space and spaceships are. If that's the case, we're going to be waiting forever for these damn aliens because we're not ready for that.
We can't even decide if we can all wear masks properly. So
yeah,
right.
Yeah, we're just hoarding toilet paper and not putting on masks. So aliens are probably just like, nah, we're never going to meet them.
Yeah, like fuck them.
But let's get it together, world, because I'm ready. Like, I want to meet aliens. If you're watching this YouTube clip, go
visit him first.
Come visit me. I'm ready.
He's ready.
Something.
Show me what you got.
Make sure you have a glass of water in your hand.
Swing away, Paul.
Listen, man, I'm outer space, aliens, UFOs. They intrigue me so much. Me and my cousin had a podcast on that. Episode 3, I think it was. Like,
wasn't it 2?
Episode 3.
No, but wasn't it 2 parts, right?
It was in 3 parts.
Oh, okay. Right.
2 of it had to do with aliens. The last part had to do with something else. But yeah, like we went in depth in it. And I really love that podcast. But aliens intrigue me, man. I'm ready.
I just hope they gradually. I'm intrigued too. Don't get me wrong. I'm joking around and I say that shit too. But that shit intrigues me like you would not believe. But I just hope for something gradual.
There's not going to be anything gradual. It's aliens, bro. There's not going to be anything gradual about aliens finally being found. Like, there's not going to be any subtleness to it. Fucking aliens.
Although they start floating in the air, like, let us know that what you could do first before you start doing it.
But according to a shed, they were like they are in constant communication. Like, they are talking to aliens. Like, hey, what's up, Gorlock? Hey, what's up, Shed? Like that shit.
No, they said that there was
Zoom
kind of
calls
base,
with aliens
base on Mars or something like that, right?
They said that they have deep inside Mars. There's aliens and U.S. astronauts working together. Like, there are astronauts in Mars somewhere working with aliens right now, and that there are aliens here. And they are in communication with Israel and the United States. So like the communication's there. Like it ain't like Independence Day. Like they're all talking to each other. They're like, yo, we want humans to be a part of this, but you guys can't handle it. Like you guys cannot handle it.
What is it that you guys want us to do? Die.
Yeah, I don't think it's that.
Independence Day. That was a good flick.
Yeah, I never saw the second one though.
I'm trying to think, did I see? I think I saw. Yeah, I saw it. There was a whole bunch of callbacks to the first movie. It was all right. I don't know if you would pay to go see it again, but I saw it.
Yeah, they killed off Will Smith.
Yeah, they made this. Right, yeah,
Movie.
They made his son like the next guy in charge or whatever.
Yeah, I wasn't interested in that. So yeah, so that was my little thing. I want aliens. Let's do it.
That was really cool because if that, I mean, hey, if that's true, again, what are they waiting for? I understand what they're waiting for, but if there's ways that they can like make this planet better, like yo, show yourselves, man. Let's go.
Again, people can't, bro. We can't handle a fucking pandemic like you said to wear your mask right.
Yeah.
This election is fucked because people are all over the place. You're gonna introduce aliens to the world now? Like, yo, if I was an alien, I wouldn't show myself either. Like, you guys ain't ready for that shit.
Like, fuck this.
Maybe a handful. The small percentage of people are waiting for that shit. I'm one of them. So again, come visit me and let's hang out for a little bit.
He'll be on the podcast. Put him on the podcast.
Let's do it. Let's go, Zorblock. So yeah, that's all I got. So yeah, man. So about time. See everybody next week. Thanks for coming by, checking us out again. For Mr. William, Lendoogz, I'm Paul. Hope everybody has a good one. Peace.
American.
Bye.